Morning.
Good morning. Morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
All right. Gold is the only thing that looked like it had really super actionable stuff at open. Just thinking like real clear highs and lows. NASDAQ, I don't know what to do with this. I'm gonna have to wait until after open, or I'm gonna have to wait until the price settles down a little bit. We didn't have any super duper clear liquidity sweeps or any locations like that I could see this morning. This one, now this ended up breaking the high before open, but this was the only one that was super clear that had kind of grinded up, making a high, and then was trending. I was thinking at open.
Can't wait to see your screen.
Oh,
Your
oh
screen.
shoot. Yeah, thanks. Let me just share this. Let me see how I do it. Share. Yeah, so YM was the only one that kind of had like a little, at open it was, well, when I was looking at it last, it was here, and I was thinking it sure would be nice if it would pop up above here, flush out quickly and easily, but it did it. Look at this, 1 minute before open. So the pattern happened, but it happened 1 minute before open. So that ruined that one. We didn't have the same type of price action on ES and NASDAQ. So so that's what I'm saying. For this morning, looks like we're gonna have to, for just based on what I'm looking at price action, I've got to wait until price creates a range, because look at what it's been doing all night. It's just trending. So now that we've just opened up, we'll expect new information, expect different market behavior, and when we see it set up, we'll go in and start trading it. Otherwise, you're sticking strictly to Titans, which we've already had one. No, this was pretty much right at open. So we had uh one winner right here at open. Yesterday's high right here that we're retesting.
And whenever you get a chance, do you think you can send me the recording of our session last week?
Yeah, I can send it to you right now.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. See, somewhere in here. Oh, my browser is opening so small here. It's weird. Let's see here. I'm gonna send you a link. It'll expire in like 7 days or something like that. So just make sure that you, even if you're not gonna watch it now, just go download it so that you have it on your actual computer. Because I'll end up,
Okay, thank you.
yeah, sooner or later I'll delete it. Oh yeah, that goes to my email. You know what? Actually, I don't. It might not expire because I forgot I saved. I've been saving these things to the cloud, so we might be all right. You're in the cloud, Gabriella. Gabriella, will you? You know what? Actually, I'll send it to you on Facebook right now. In the future, if you will just open up a little ticket on Discord. I know it sounds like it might be a longer way to, to get a hold of me, but it's actually the fastest way, and it's super fast and simple. So if you go in here and you just click request support, if you'll click this create a ticket, that's it. You push that button and it sends a direct message to me, and that they all get listed right here. And I go through these every single day. So it's the fastest way to reach me. Once you're in STS, use that option, all right? But I went ahead and I sent you the link and passcode for our one-on-one meeting. So you've got that now. Oh, gold went up there and went up above the highs. That don't look too bad. Let's see.
Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm hanging in there.
You doing great?
Yes, sir.
All right. That's what I'd like to hear.
Looking forward to a new day.
Yep.
New year.
New year.
Sorry.
I was about to say.
Yeah, new year, new day. Just mentally resetting, getting recharged. It's gonna be a great year. And praying, all of it,
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Best last day of the year.
Yeah. It was a great 2025, and 2026 is gonna be even greater. Much better, and just praying for nothing but prosperity and
Absolutely.
peace and everything good. So
Yep. Start. You know what? Decide. By the way, I think I'm gonna take a $200 risk on gold if I get triggered in at 361. It ain't looking too good. See, I was gonna try to enter right about here. This is the only place I could have entered with low enough risk where I could put my stop right above the high. It did a good flush right here in terms of price action. Not super aggressive with the buyers and the volume leading up to break that high. It's not a daily high. I don't think it is a daily high. Let me just double check. Can't be. No. So it's not like a daily high, but it's definitely a session high. Very, very typical type of run up to the high, wick up above it, right? You can see it real clear, and then price shut down. To me, in regards to the price action alone, it looks like a really, really good flush style trade. When I look into the candles, I can see the trapped buyers that entered in there. So and I cannot wait to show you guys this order flow course so I can so that I know when I'm saying this stuff, you guys will have complete clarity on what I'm talking about. Because there's we keep saying a flush, but you need to know why we keep calling a flush. Like what is actually happening there. So I'm excited to release that. But anyway, anyways, I don't think I'm gonna get it. It's setting up a Titan now. So and it already hit TP1. Or it already hit TP on the Titan. It's all right. We'll get the next one. Ray, what you were saying though, I like it. You know, starting out, for the year, just plan on having a whole new story. Everyone talking about the same story over and over again. We need to make sure that we're all telling a different story.
absolutely.
What is that? Tech Profit say 43.57. Boom! I did a little double dipper. I got in on that. When it pulled back in this wick, I had my I had put a pending sell limit here, and it triggered it, and bam! So that got me my first trade for the day right here, courtesy of Titan. Got in it, got out of it. I wanted in right here, man. If I would have got that price, see, all I did was I measured from up here, one tick above it, down, and I said, all right, I'll go in at $200 risk for my very first trade. That would have been entry at 43.61, and but I would have only held that for a $200 win anyways. That was going to be my plan regardless. So it was just to get in, get one good trade, and then be done with that, and then look for another one, at least one more. So then they came in with the Titan, good old Titan, got me right. Printed the entry, stop loss, take profit, and so I just ended up copying those parameters. I did not trade 2 contracts on this. I don't know why my risk is set so high right now. There.
Hey Ken, I'm gonna probably just paper trade today, and start over just in being honest and transparent. Um, I blew all my evaluation accounts. Um, so I'm mentally resetting.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna start Tuesday. I mean, not Tuesday, but Friday with the whole new attitude and mindset.
Yeah.
It was a great learning experience in the month of December. I learned some things about myself that were good and not so good, but I'm still excited about everything, man. I'm grateful for the risk I took, and I guess I've learned what not to do going forward. And I'm learning what not good to do going forward.
Mm-hmm.
So I got to stick to the plan, and it's so easy to deviate from the plan, but we're gonna make it a little bit harder.
It can be easy to deviate from it, that's for sure.
Yeah, man.
So out of your experience, what caused you to fail?
Chasing the trades, man, and not letting it come to me. Allowing my greed or mindset to get in the way. I mean, all the intentions were there to do the right thing,
Mm-hmm.
but my bad habits just got in the way of me. What y'all some people call fear of missing out.
Yep.
Yeah, man, it just got in the way. If I would have just been consistent, been patient with the small wins along the way, I would have been okay. I had a few counts that I had got down, but then got them back up on the right track. And after hours, man, just thinking I can get in there and maybe double it up a little bit. And then some of it was just practicing over practicing.
Mm-hmm.
Instead of closing the computer, shutting down the computer, and maybe going to a paper trade count. If I was going to practice, I was practicing on my evaluation accounts, and again, you'd be like, you know what, revenge trading, and it all got in my way, man. I went through the whole gamut of emotions that we talk about on a day-to-day basis, but no, I'm good, man. I'm writing down some stuff. I'm making some plans this year. It's going to be a different year for me. I've been honest. I've been talking to God and praying, and because I really want this to. I'm not going to say I really want. This is going to work for me and for my family, and get us where we need to be. My wife was a big encouragement to me. She said, "Man, baby, don't give up. You keep going. You got this. You can do this."
Mm-hmm.
And so
Good.
I'm grateful for that. But you got to put it in action. So yeah. Man. That's where I was, man, this month. So I'll go ahead and pay my little $19 again.
Yep.
And start. But can I say one thing? I find it strange. Like I went down to the $25,000 thinking it was going to be easier, and all I needed to make was $1,500 to
Right.
pass the evaluation. When I had the 50,000, it was easier for me to pass and get well above 15,000, even though I never got the 3,000. So I'm like, where was the psychological? What's the psychological factor there that would prevent me on the 25,000, thinking that I was going to easily make the 1,500 when I had the 50,000, and I went well above 1,500. Don't
Well,
understand that.
yeah, it sounds like it's all in your brain, right? All in your mind. Because let's just make it very, very clear.
Okay.
With your experience that you've had so far, you've used the system, you've gone through the training, you have access to me, the group, the mentorship, you have access to anything and everything you need. You know at this point that the system isn't holding you back. Right. So
Right.
you know that if you would just follow the system and the trade plan, you'd be successful, right? You can see
Mm-hmm.
that clearly. So
Yes.
the only thing that you haven't done yet is, and now I'm not going to say you haven't tried to stick to it. I'm sure you've tried like hell to stick to it, right? I bet you every day you wake up and say, "I'm gonna stick to this thing today. I'm gonna do it today."
Yeah.
Just right. But then the emotions kick in, and the dopamine kick in, and the stress hormones, and this and that, and the excitement, and then you got us in here like buy sell, and so it can be easy to break away from that, but that's why most of the stuff like what we're talking about daily is, we might be getting excited about trading, but you'll hear me at the very end, but stick to your trade plan. We're like, yeah, look
Yeah.
at this. This is perfect. This is going to be the greatest trade ever, but stick to your trade plan. Like always, we're here, we're having fun, we're trading. This call in the morning is to discover opportunities, but also to ask for support and just to be there. See, look, I'm here and I'm trading and I'm having fun, but I'm not going to take very many trades, right? And so
Right.
I don't know. I've been doing this for years, and without me, I've thought about opening up a local place, right? Like I've even looked at some offices before. Like that's the only other way that I feel like I could make it where I'm actually watching them trade, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
don't do that. Okay, now you're done. Da 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 da. And then that way you can structure it. That's been the only disconnect out of all these years is that I could teach somebody something, I could show somebody something, I can give them the plan to make it happen, I can do all of that, but I'm not there with them at all times. And so something's
Right.
got to change inside of you that makes you look at this like more like a game, more like a job or a task that has to be completed. Almost, you could either look at it like a very fun game that you're excited to show up to and just make a little progress and then stop. If that works for you, you can do it like that. But if you get too addicted to the game and you want to play and play and play, right? Then you have to
Mm-hmm.
you have to frame it differently. That's unique to everybody. So so you'll have to, what you're doing right now is peeling back the layers, and so that's why I tell people, even when they look, I'm gonna do everything I can to help you succeed right away, straight out of the gate, instantly. I'm gonna try to help you do that. But that's why I tell people when they come into mentorship, it depends a lot on them too. It depends on where they are, because we may have to spend some time kind of peeling back some of the layers and getting rid of some old bad habits or building some new good habits, and everyone is a little bit different. So, you just have to do that. So,
Yeah.
so I think that with what you're telling me, as long as you take what you've learned and you actually do something with it. Look, there's another
Mm-hmm.
really good flush, but I wouldn't enter it unless it came back to 43.62 on gold. Look, it keeps doing the same thing, setting up a tighten right up at the very top, breaking the high. But yeah, again, it's too high risk selling it right here. It is flushing. Sellers are stepping in. Delta is curving over, but I just don't see. Well, there's only. I mean, the risk is the risk. I don't want to risk more than about $200. So the only way that you could trade one contract is entering at 43.62, and that's going to put you at a max risk of 200. Or you could either take it, leave it, or do whatever you want with it. It's not a guarantee to win. It's just another flush. So, but yeah. So what you did, you went through. You spent a month. you've just got to make sure you learn from what you went through and not just don't forget it. You know what I mean? Don't just say, yeah, that
Right.
was a tough month. I learned some stuff. I didn't get where I wanted to, but I'm positive. I'm optimistic. I think I can do this. I just need to stay disciplined and then forget about it. You know, like you've got to really take that experience and say, all right, you know what? I'm going to make, you know, I'm really going to do something with this.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Thank you for that. I appreciate it, man. Everything that you have shared in your evaluation of my story
Yeah.
here on the call. But I do
Yeah. Yeah.
appreciate that. Yeah. Thank you for that advice, man. Hey, if you do open up, decide to do something, I'm open to coming out there and spending a couple of days with you. I
Yeah,
get on a
hey,
plane.
we might do it. I've looked at some places before. I thought it would be cool, like you know, because my idea one day what I'd really like is I'd like to have. I mean, I have confidence if people were calling Titan trades and things like that. Like I've got the confidence in Titan, but wouldn't it be cool to like have everyone together and just be able to trust everyone enough and know like, you know, that they know what they're talking about and you're like, all right, you know, I can trust this person and they could call trades like, oh yeah, we're doing this, oh, we're doing that, this is happening, that's happening, you know, and just be able to fully trust them and know like that they know what they're talking about and whatnot. And
Hmm.
you know, everyone's trading together. We could do it right inside of inside of an actual place. But again, that would have to be like a local thing. So we'd have to work that
Oh, yeah.
out. I'm abandoning my idea on gold, by the way. It's when it ran up there quickly and tapped it, I'd have been fine trading away from it. But I'm starting to see that price is staying in this area, which means, look, if there's one very simple thing you can keep in mind is that price moves quickly through areas of low liquidity. When there is, I mean, like when there are not a lot of, when there's not a lot of, think of liquidity as just simply buy limits and sell limits above and below price. It's either thick or it's thin around current price. And so when it's thin around current price or areas, pockets of, areas on the chart where it's thin, then it will move quickly, like what we're seeing on the chart here. When it finds liquidity or when it gets thicker, it will slow down. So obviously the fact that this is moving sideways and not moving quickly, it has found some interest right here, right? So that means that we know that. Sorry, I was looking at the other screen. I mean, just look at the difference. Look at how price is moving, and it's moving. It tapped that high, and to me, it looks like it got some traders involved, and they're working it out right now. So I'm just gonna hold off on this and just wait. I can clearly see our range. This is on gold. I don't care. I do this on NASDAQ. I do it on gold. I do it on anything. But the fact that it's here on gold this morning is why I'm focused on gold. Oh, we fake break, fake break, fake break, fake break, fake break, fake break all over the place. So this is kind of the range I'm looking at. And at this point, what I'll do, look, was this my entry? I just want to see if it would. It didn't quite hit that entry that I was looking for. It almost did for gold. I had said 43.62. Oh, it did hit it. I didn't get in it. It did hit 43.62 to the tick. That's the high of this candle. It hit 43.62 and then turned around and ran. Let me see here. Yeah, it would have already hit TP. All right. I'll be right back.
Les, you got a hot mic?
Yellow. Is it me you're looking for? Cedric, you singing in here again?
Not me. It wasn't me, I swear.
I heard him. All right, what do we got? Anybody doing anything? What did you do today? Anything?
Nah, I tried to get into something earlier. I made like $60, but I'm not. This is just flattened out on us.
Oh,
On NQ.
so it is 10, by the way. The 10
It didn't
o'clock
do anything.
did not. Let me dig deep and look at the volume in
I don't know
here.
if it's me, but I can't see anything of your screen. It just says stream failed to start.
Uh-oh.
I can see it.
All right. Yep, just you.
Okay.
This is what you do. This is what you do. Leave this call and come back in and then click on it.
Okay.
See if that fixes it. All right, so 10 o'clock came in and we had not much of a bump in volume here. Did not have much of a, kind of had a bump in volume here. I find oftentimes at 10 o'clock we'll leave a candle like this where you see the volume profile inside of this candle. It's kind of suspended in the wick. Sometimes something like that'll happen and it'll be higher up and I'll look for a retest, which even on this one, I mean, I know that this isn't much. Money's money, but like see this 10 o'clock candle here and you can see how the volume, the value area is suspended inside of the wick. Normally what happens like almost every time is either immediately or later, the next candle will pull back into the volume area, especially to like the POC area of that candle. and then it'll continue going the other way. So like in this case, this candle would have opened here, right there, and then it would have pulled back. It would have triggered you in right here, and it actually would have worked because you would have entered here. Stop would go one tick above. TP, let's put it at a 1-to-1 is right here. So I mean, in the same candle, you would have been able to win that trade. But that is about $135 on one contract. But I don't care too much for I mean, these happen a lot of times. A lot of times, a candle will reopen and retest the volume area. I really like 8 o'clock. Smash price down, then let price come back to those areas. It's one thing if it does it in the next candle. What I really like is kind of like, like a move like price would push it far away quickly and then come back to it. But yeah, that was kind of a boring 8 o'clock or boring 10 o'clock. 8 o'clock for me.
Hey Ken, I got test.
Yeah, I hear you.
I have two questions. One is, what is the call sign for gold futures on Trade of 8?
Should be under GC.
GCG6.
It's gold. How about micros?
It's just put an M in front of it.
Yep.
Okay. And then the other thing is, I sent you a ticket picture just now because I don't think we have a chat where we can send pictures here in this whatever, not Zoom, but I have two screens I trade on, not screens, but a split screen with a 1 minute on one side and a 5 minute on the other. And if you look at the 5 minute side, which is on the right side, the time currently is, it thinks it's right now. It thinks it's
I know how to fix that.
3 o'clock p.m. But the other screen has the normal time, or not screen, but panel of the screen.
Right. Yep. So look at my screen real quick.
Yeah.
All right. So you see how I've got a left and a right, and you see how when I select it, I'm clicking here, then I'm clicking here. So I'm clicking left, now I'm clicking right, now I'm clicking left, now I'm clicking right. So each time I select those, I'm actually, even though they're on the same screen, I'm selecting a different one each time. See, this is NQ, and you can see it switch to NQ. I click this one, that switches to GC. So these are two separate instances altogether. They have different settings. If you go in here and you adjust the settings, you're only adjusting it for this chart, and the same for this one. So you could have settings going for that one, settings for that one. What's going on here is you have one chart here, like I do. But down here in the bottom, I can see your time. It says 2:31. If you'll click on that, it'll open up a thing where you can select your local time zone. You need to do that for both charts. So if you see how you were saying one says one and one says the other, make sure that you click the one that you need to change. Click on it, then click on the time zone. Change the time zone to match, then make sure that the other one is the exact same as well.
Gotcha.
That
And
should
it was
fix
something easy.
Yeah. Yep. Okay. Look at that. That flush, that sell signal that came in at the very top of NASDAQ here. That's crazy. It's literally the best candle that you could have traded, and this indicator doesn't repaint. It didn't give a signal anywhere else except for the very top. I love to see that.
And that's about where there was a 5 minute extreme too.
I bet it was, because this is extreme price action today, all the way up here. Oh yeah, and you guys, I told you yesterday, when we were getting off of here to watch these levels. Where did it go? Oh, here it's over, all the way over here from yesterday. See, we were getting off the webinar right around this time, and I was like, oh, look, it's already hitting the level. And I had drawn these out, and I was saying when price reaches this initial balance area here, what will happen is it will either break, retest, continue. So this is a sign of a continuation. You'd have a red candle break below, green candle retesting it, then a continuation. It did break below and set up like that, but it didn't actually continue on and past there. It just kind of bounced off of it. So it did that perfectly right here at the bottom, and then it went up and it did a perfect flush trade right up at the top. So two really good trades. We were off of the Zoom, or we were off of the whatever this thing's called, live stream at that time, but it still set up real good. I'm gonna watch those today as well. When price comes back to them, a lot of times they'll react. They're gonna go through it, or they're going to bounce off of it. Here was yesterday. NASDAQ ran up to it. Remember, if you're smart, you'll, instead of always chasing breakouts, you could sit and observe them. Worst thing that's gonna happen is you don't enter. I mean, either way, when you're entering a breakout trade, most time you're entering at a high price anyways. If you're trading breakouts, so can't really complain about your late entry. But if you're trying to trade a breakout, then if you're if you're going to trade up here, then you might as well wait for something else up here. We could talk about trading continuations and breakouts, but I like to observe and watch and look for failure at these levels. That to me is way easier. And then bam, sure enough, comes right back in. You could have sold early when it did that, either here, that would have been the lowest risk up at the top, or even when price actually accepted back into that range where you could see candles closing below, and then you see how at first it wasn't making new lows and then it started to make new lows. There's your acceptance right there. So you could have easily traded right on the line and traded back down to that 50% level. So your stops would have been somewhere up here, 6 to 10 points, and your TP would have been 50 points away.
And what did you just do? Because your voice kind of sounded like it's a bit of a echo chamber. It's not echoing, but it sounded different.
I don't know. I didn't.
Now it's back to normal.
That's strange. I didn't do anything.
Weird.
Yeah, I don't know.
It sounded like this, kind of.
Huh. Yeah, no, I didn't even move a muscle. I was just sitting in the same spot. Maybe the internet messed up.
And we had a 1 minute Titan just won. It actually just shot straight down.
Let's go look at it. Titan. Oh yeah, I see that. Oh, are we breaking the low? No, not yet. We gotta break that low, right? Don't do me like that. This is starting to set up a real nice looking pattern, though. I'm starting to see some pretty clear stuff here. Look, we're starting to get a pretty clear little range. So here, I'm going to leave gold there and start focusing on this one. We didn't break the low. I'd really like to see us break this low. We got a volume level down here.
What time is the market close?
At 5:50. Today's regular trading hours.
Oh, today's regular?
Yeah, today's regular trading hours. I think tomorrow is when it changes. Let me go look.
Okay.
Yeah, so today's Wednesday.
What's up, Karen? How you been, bro?
I've been good. How about you?
Good.
Yeah,
What are you saying?
I was going to say, here you go if you want to take a look at this. This is for Apex. So regular trading hours. And then Thursday, markets closed 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Regular market reopen.
Asian session tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
All right, cool.
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'm gonna start watching this range right here. Start watching this range. We got our lows, got our highs. I'm gonna say that it looks a bit more like this for now. I'll leave it like that for now. And push that, came back in. We've got this level down here. So this, we're at 600. This is at 550. So there is most definitely a chance the NASDAQ could reach down into this area. Sometimes it starts to do that when I'm looking for my fake breaks. You know, like prices already dropped so low. So I'll just have to see. I'm just gonna have to watch it and see what it does. See how it reacts. If it, I could set up for, you know, I'm gonna win it or I'm gonna lose. That's basically what's gonna happen. But I just know normally that if I'm trading and something like this has happened where, you know, we're down here, it's already sold off really hard. We've come down here, we found balance right here. But there's nothing from I mean, like like why is it just stopping right here? There's no sign of that before. I would imagine it would go back down to this area. This is where the market rejected last time. So what I would typically look for is a fake break right here, just how it's starting to set up. I'd like to see price break below here. I'd like to see the candle close. And I'd like to see buyers starting to step in, or at least some kind of divergence in delta. And so something that shows me that we've got some buyers, right? And so this is NQ, this is MNQ. So if we don't have no divergence as of yet. We just gotta wait and watch and see what it does there. The divergence I'm looking at would come in here. So ideally, lower low on price with a higher low on delta. This one is very, very close. So, you know, to actually making a lower low, which would at that point, that means that everything's in line. So either sellers will support the breakout with strong volume, hard delta, and it will go. And if it does, I really don't care. I'm not gonna chase it. But if it turns here, see, I can see these buy limits sitting right there. I see buy limits here. This is more retail. That's why I've got MNQ here. And it's funny, as I'm sitting here talking about this. Hold on a second. I'm gonna, Les, can you mute your mic? All right, there's the break. There's the break right there. I'll have to show y'all what was funny here in a second. Lots of trades just went into there, by the way. So if you look, there's lots and lots of volume, lots and lots of selling. Double, triple the volume. Man. See, it might be trying to go all the way down there to that 550. I don't know if I don't know. So just be mindful of your risk is all you can do. I think it looks good as the flush style trade, but you'll have to figure out a way to get in with as low risk as possible.
Still 20 away from the low, huh?
Yeah, and then that's the other thing too. So you know, and I kind of talked about this leading up to this, but yeah, like, see, the thing is, we do have a low, right? We do have the low right down below this. Look, I don't know why I can't actually get. Hold on, I gotta focus on this for a second. Let me try to figure out what's going on. Yeah, I mean, it's look, the trade is there, but you just have to be mindful of your risk. It flushed out. It wasn't really that bad. Even if you took it at the candle close, it was a $225 risk. But I wasn't able to get in the stupid trade because of Addis. I don't know what's going on.
So Ken, you were looking to buy?
I was, yeah, I was looking to buy, but I literally cannot get in. So that may either save me or piss me off. The only thing I've traded today is gold. So this is the first time I tried to trade NASDAQ, and I don't know, it's like Addis and NinjaTrader are not synced up together for some reason. There's so much volume, so much trading happening right here in this area right now.
And I have a question about Apex.
Yeah.
I'm going to be joining mentorship over the weekend. Let's say I buy the program with the discount right now. Is there a certain amount of time you have to have that done in?
Let me do one thing and then I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
I believe it's January 6th is when the sale ends.
No, but I mean, say it takes me a month when I'm doing mentorship to maybe be ready to trade. Would I have lost out on, like, you have 2 weeks to use up, to do your evaluation? Do you have a month, unlimited, or does it, that's what I was wondering.
It's unlimited, but the discount ends January 6th.
Okay, so if I buy that, I can still do my evaluation a month later.
Correct, but you will be charged a monthly fee if you don't pass it within a month. But it's only
Okay.
going to be, I believe it's only $20 because you're getting it at $20.
Oh, that's great.
Look at
I don't
that.
think
Well,
it's,
if
month, it's only the first month that's true, I think,
Oh,
right?
you're
And then
you're
it goes
right. You're right, Darren. I think it goes up to $99.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
so
Good catch.
be aware of that. If you don't start it, chances are they're going to run other sales. You're almost better off just canceling it and then buying again at the beginning before before your month is up.
Okay.
So
Or if you have one and you're say 2 days away from it renewing, just YOLO, like do a massive trade because you're gonna cancel anyway if you don't pass it and get a new one on sale. So you might as well just like do super high leverage on a couple trades and try to pass it. If you don't pass it, it doesn't make a difference because you were gonna buy another one anyway.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
You have to bear with us. We've really figured out how to work like we're speaking like a different language. Like
I know.
for a regular trader that's just coming in there, like, hey, I just want to learn a strategy, a system, and maybe get some funding that I hear everyone talking about. We're like, okay, so this is how we're going to manipulate them. Like, they have these cells. We know it. They're going to yank out the deal. We're going to go in. Just know that when you're ready, we got a plan for you. We'll make sure that we take you directly through the right path. You got good information.
Okay, I have no doubt.
Man,
No doubt.
you guys, that was a perfectly placed tight-end trade. This, if you could ever get a good example of a perfectly placed tight-end trade, it was this one right here. The flush happened, right? I wanted to enter, down here. I mean, y'all seen what happened. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at it, I'm watching it. I spent a couple minutes, at least 2 of my minutes that I had available was me trying to get set up. Finally, I just logged into Tradeovate quickly, and by that point, let me see, where did I get in? I ended up getting in. I got in right about here. So I basically got the same price that I wanted to. I got in here, put the stop right down here. I did it on NASDAQ, so it was about $225, and I made $250. I didn't trade the Titan, but I'll tell you, the Titan gave me a lot of confidence. When I seen the Titan set up, I was thinking, well, this is great, because if I can't get the trade set up for the price action flush that I was looking at, then I could at least have my risk predefined here. See, this is two contracts. If I wanted to risk if I wanted to risk 500, it would be two contracts. For about 250 or 225, it'd be one contract. So I had multiple options here. I could have either taken the trade, exactly where I wanted to when this flushed out, or I could have taken the Titan trade. So I'm happy with that. That's two trades I've gotten. Two trades I got so far. That one was 221, so I got 221 on that. And 216 on my other one, so I'm up almost 500 right now. Oh, it was a good one. All right, what do we got next? What are they serving up next? Bring out the next platter. I'm ready for it. Oh, look, I had a nice little flush right there on ES too. The trading view indicator even picked this one up. I noticed these do pretty good on ES. I don't know what it is about ES, but it seems like it moves like kind of weird, like even during this session, like kind of point to point type of thing. Like you can see it just perfectly moves like I don't know, it's weird. It's like the ticks are very visible. Each tick.
It's like oil.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, so you could just see it's like a lot of the trading is like literally to the tick. I like it. Kind of weird though. Like, why does it trade like that when there's so much volume? Is this an old contract or something? What is this? Doesn't even look right.
I always when I'm in doubt, I check the volume. If the volume's like super low, the contract might be wrong.
True. That's the right one. Current contract. ESH 2026. My girlfriend said something the other day, and she said something about 2026. And how she said it, it made me think we were going into 2027. And I was like, wait, what? I said, wait a minute. I don't write the date that often. I was like, I'm like, where did 2026 go? I actually said it to her. I'm like, when did 2026 happen? She's laughing at me. Darren, are you in here? I see a couple pretty good trades off of the volume zones. A couple of those.
Yeah, I
yesterday.
caught one. I caught a short this morning on gold on that zone. I did take a loss on NAS on the buy zone. I was sitting there listening to you talk about it going lower. I'm like, no, don't go.
Oh, really?
It's all right. And then there was I missed one. Let's see. That was that first thing?
Oh, you were trading it right. You were trading it right. Hold on, I'm trying to get rid of these.
Yeah, it's on a, yeah, if you have to look on a 5-minute and pull up that zone.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I trade that. Where are
see.
you?
This one maybe no, I don't know. I don't know which one it would have been.
The one there was a go top right. There was a sell.
Oh, this is on gold.
Well,
That's why.
Gold.
was
No, the
no, no,
gold
no.
fell.
Gold was a sell, that one, but I'm
Yeah.
I'm MNQ and MGC2, by the way, so I don't know if that's going to show up
This
different.
one right here, you were trying to trade this
Yeah.
one, and it was curving over, and I'm
Yes,
all like,
exactly,
I'm all
exactly.
like, yeah, go down. You're like, no.
Yeah. I mean, and look at it, just barely took me out. It's all good.
Uh-huh.
So I'm 1-1 today, and then but I did miss one first thing at the open. Was it gold? Hold on, let me look. I'm in one in gold right now too, by the way. That's slowly moving up. It's in the green. Yeah, there was
Oh, yeah.
one. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, there was one in gold. Yeah, right at the open.
Yep, I see that.
So gold is 2 for 2 right now, and NAS is 1 for 1 or
Is
0 for 1. So
Is that kind of the main? Is that the main thing that you're enjoying right now?
gold.
Just the volume levels out of everything.
Yes.
Okay.
And I
was just
one of the
curious.
things too, because I was just looking how to like get kind of sharpen my edge, I guess, for lack of a better phrase. So those are pretty easy because they just, it's a 5-minute chart to move slower. But on the 1 minute, what I've started looking for to try to really just only take like A plus trades is what I've noticed is that Titans coming out of a zone, especially coming out of like for example, like, well, if a Titan coming out of a 1 minute zone that paints is those are really solid, but they're also really good if it retests a 5-minute zone and then you get a Titan on the 1 minute, those things are really good too. So I'm really just watching that. I'm just my part of my problem. So I have two problems that I've had. Is that one is I'm missing too many winners. On the 1 minute you just kind of blink, right, and you can miss something. So I need to be more laser focused. And then I think and then the other part is just over trading. I'm
That's
in I Yeah, so I'm trading too far into the day, and so what I'm trying to do now is just set time limits on myself. I'm not necessarily setting like a number of trade limit, but I'm finding that like I need to like just focus for the first like 2, maybe 3 hours of the session, and that's gonna be it.
you might not even need,
Because
man. You might not even need that much time, to be honest. You know that.
well, I totally agree with you. Like, well, this morning, like right now, I'd probably be, especially this. I'm moving this gold trade to break even. Actually, now that we're looking at this, let me grab that so I don't forget to do this. But yeah, for example, if this, I'd be like what 3. Well, I didn't even. There was a Titan that I missed too, so I'd be like 3-1 right now. And this one right here is looking good for a possible win on this 5-minute gold trade. So,
I saw that. Yeah, gold does
two to
gold.
three.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say just two to three winners is. I need to just look at and go. My goal is say I don't know. Ideally, like at least $200. But if I get close to 500, like I need to shut it down.
Yeah.
And a lot of that's gonna be based on how much my risk is. Like I've reduced my risk a little bit right now, because I'm a little bit in drawdown, so I'm just only risking about $100 a trade. Once I get back up above my threshold, I'll bump that to like 150. But that's all I ever plan to. That's until I have I pass and I have a PA and I have like say 10K of buffer or something like that. Then
Right.
I might open up my risk more, and by then I'll really have my numbers dialed in too. So
Well,
anyway, I'm
just
just trying to really reduce. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, just make sure that when you're doing what you're doing here, with especially with your trade plan, the most important thing with your trade plan is if you're just keep it very, very simple. You have a daily profit and loss goal. Most people have a daily profit and loss where they or so this is what I'm seeing is most people have either they take X amount of trades per day, and then they stick to that, and then they just stop. They either take 3 trades and they win them, or they lose them, or they win some and they lose some, and then they literally just stop. They just do that, and that's it. That's a little easier to work with, right? So there's that. Then there's people that say, okay, I'm not going to do a certain amount of trades per day. Instead, what I'm looking for is a certain amount of profit or loss for the day. So I'm going to go attack the market. I have a $500 budget. I'm going to try to go make X amount of dollars. And so they're leveraging X amount of dollars to, make a certain amount of money. I like that. It gives you flexibility because now you can say, all right, if I'm going to risk $500 per day, you can sit down at the market and you can be very dynamic and flexible. You can sit down and you can say, all right, like today, I don't know who was all on at the very beginning, but I had already analyzed the market and I looked at it and I said, there's not really any clear setups right off the bat that I can see immediately. If there was a high conviction trade setup that I seen immediately right away, like I did yesterday, I'm probably gonna, the way that I start my day is a little bit different. Like if I see that I'm gonna be trading immediately and it's a really good potential trade, I know that the risk is gonna be small and the reward potential is gonna be larger. I'll go a little heavier on that trade because I have the likelihood of catching that one trade. It's about to happen right now. It's here. It's at the beginning of my session. I can go in. I could catch that one trade and be done, right? And that's realistically, it's kind of was that yesterday? I don't know. I can't remember if that was yesterday or the day before, but or whatever. But anyway, made a really good profit off of that one trade. Price just literally dropped, and so actually set myself above my goal in one trade. But what I'm getting at is make sure this is that your trading plan goes like this. Because this is where I see people messing up, is if you're going to say, I'm going to risk $500 to make X amount, you need to make sure that your trade plan and the way that you're managing your trades go together. So this is where I see the problem is somebody is scalping. So they're doing like a scalp trade, a one risk to 0.5, like Titan or something, right? So they're risking 100 to make 50 as an example. Now you might have an 85% win rate and that's profitable over time and that's great. That's fine. But you can't risk $100 to make $50 and then say, okay, I'm going to stop trading at $200 profit or stop trading at $200, right? They just like how that sounds. They're like, all right, well, I'm risking $100. I'm gonna stop trading at $300 risk or $300 profit. Or even worse, they say, I'm gonna stop trading at $300 risk and I'm gonna stop trading at a $600 profit. It sounds nice, right? But so does a 1 to 2 strategy. A 1 to 2 strategy sounds nice as well. But you know that a 1 to 2 strategy normally over time of you attacking the charts with your strategy, you're normally in somewhere in the range of a 50% win rate. Well, you need to think about your days the same way. It's going to be, if you're applying the same strategy to your risk to reward on your days, you're going to have a similar experience where you're going to have a lot more losing days, but your winning days are going to have more profit. And therefore, over time, you won't be able to see this until the time has passed and you stuck to it long enough. Over time, you'll say, oh, wow, it sure does feel like I lose 50% more days than I win, but my account is green, so I'm happy and I'll keep clicking these buttons every day, right? And so, but this is what people do is they say, I'm going to risk $300 to make $300 for the day, but then on their trades, they're risking $100 to make $50. 3 losers, they're out, but they need something like, 6 winners in a row. Let's say 6 winners in a row to have the easiest day at the office possible would be 6 winners in a row. Okay, that's a hard day. I mean, that's a hard day. That's asking for a lot. You're supposed to show up and win 6 trades every single day. It does. You see how it doesn't make sense. So it because of the goal people are setting up for their daily profit and loss targets, they're causing themselves to over trade because of unrealistic profits. You can't have a risk reward strategy that where you risk $100 to make $50 and then go and try to make $300 for that day while risking $300. You see how it's going to be easy to hit your stop loss goal or limit, I should say. It's going to be fairly easy to hit that because you're only 3 trades away, but you're going to be constantly chasing that profit target because it's also 300 and you're only making $50 per trade. So hopefully that makes sense. Hold on, I've got to. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that makes sense to where, you know, you can set that up and structure it the right way. Because otherwise you're gonna feel like you're chasing your tail, you know.
Yeah, I think I just need to get clear on that. I mean, the good news is that I'm not chasing trades. I'm not deviating from. I mean, the setups that I have, I take the setups that are in the plan, but yeah, it's I just need to be more on top of my game as far as getting not like for example, I missed two trades today. I missed the 5 minute zone at the open, and there was a 1 minute zone as well that happened shortly thereafter that they were both winners. So, and I think the other thing I need to do is that when I do miss them, I need to factor that in to my day and say, well, I should have been on those trades because
Right.
those factor into the win loss ratio. And so it's like, okay, I need to treat it as if I was in those trades and
Right.
and stick to my plan as far as whatever my loss limit is or my profit goal is.
Right.
And that may mean I still end up a loser for that day because I missed those trades, but at least I'm not over trading. And then now the odds are not in my favor because a couple of winners already passed by me. Now there's might be a higher likelihood of getting another loser or two. You know what I'm saying? So I think
Right.
I need to just factor that in as my day progresses. Like, okay, if I miss those, then I probably should shut it down.
Right.
You know, when the numbers on paper hit whatever goal I had, whether I got those trades or not. I should, you know, just because there's only so many of these setups that happen. And over time, I'm going to get, you know, what I really want to get to is to what you guys are doing, you know, a lot more proficient with, you know, order flow. It's interesting too. I was reading something recently. This guy was talking about order flow, and as he was basically saying that indicators really back in the day, indicators were great, and everybody was doing, was adhering to them and all this stuff, and it was effective. He's saying nowadays indicators really aren't that useful because we have AI, we have all this other stuff where computers are making trades and stuff, and it's like to really understand what the market's doing, order flow is really the way to go about it. And I was like, wow, he's really saying exactly what Ken's been teaching. I mean, this was just literally in the last week or so that I saw this, and I'm like, wow, that's because that's really where you go. You can see what's really happening, you
Right.
know, and
You can
so
see a
it's
level of depth that you normally can't see. You know, when
right,
you're looking at a candle, you're seeing the result of what you're seeing the result. When you look at order flow, you're seeing the effort. You know, you're actually seeing the why and what went into it. But only reason we're really talking so heavily about order flow is because of that we're trading futures. If it wasn't for futures, you know, then we wouldn't even be considering order flow because with forex, you know, it's none of it
right.
is centralized. So it's like, you know, the it's it's just not as important to watch it. But with futures, you know, that's I was really excited with that because I tried, man. I tried as hard as I could to apply volume and little bits of order flow to forex, but I mean the reality is the volume is just not real. You know what I mean? It's not the same. And speaking on that, that's what I was talking about earlier. Is that you might even remember this. So see, it's funny. This is a memory from 5 years ago. So 2005. I don't know if you remember this or not, but we were talking about breakouts earlier, and you know, and taking breakout trades, and these were the tap sessions right here. Tap stands for time and
Yep,
place.
I remember
Time and
that.
place,
Yeah.
no different than what we're doing right now. Making sure that we're trading at the right time and place, and we're still trading a candle, still trading the exact, literally everything exact same except for this was MetaTrader.
Was
And
that I'm trying to remember, was that like you could sort of like semi predict time of day when things would do certain
it
things or
it was all based. It's just what I do. It's same thing I do here. It's just basically kind of like quantifying data. I basically research and look up exactly like what hours of each day each symbol was most volatile. And then I did that for 3 separate sessions per day. And so some pairs are more volatile in other sessions and some, but I built it based on true data. So real actual data that, that shows like, yes, like, you know, that shows like this during this 1 hour, this pair moves the most, right? And so it wasn't just like, okay, these belong in the New York session, those belong in that session, and this and that. It was more like, no, this is proven over the last 10 weeks during this specific time, this pair is the most volatile. So, so I put all that and marked it all up to where, where it would, like you have phase 1, you have phase 2, and then phase 3. This is a 30 minutes, so that doesn't look like much, but when you break this down to a 1 minute time frame, you got 60 candles within each of these little boxes. And so trading the price action inside of them and then also just trading the breakout was fun. I mean, it's so different because we have so many options on Forex. I mean, there's so many different symbols that you can trade,
Okay.
So it's really a totally different thing.
So Ken, would you say though, like Forex is kind of the Wild West with different brokers, there's
Yeah.
manipulation, and with the futures, it's much more regulated, and you said like centralized. It seems like it's more of a secure or safer way to go.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It really is. So futures is what everybody wanted. Like everybody always said, I can't succeed in Forex because my broker and because of this and because of that. Everybody had a reason why Forex wouldn't work for them, right? They're like, oh, if it wasn't for these brokers and their spread, and the manipulation, they're chasing my stop losses, they're doing this, they're doing that, right? My broker's keeping my money, they're manipulating the data, all of it. And so then all of a sudden futures comes out and they're like, hey, now you can do this, now you can do that, there's no spread, there's no this, there's no that, right? And so yeah, and I think I would have never changed from futures, from Forex over to futures, because I already had my money, all my money in Forex. I was completely happy, good, fine, no ideas or plans to change. The only reason I changed over it was because of the ability to access the capital for so cheap, and it really just strictly the opportunity. I'm sitting here thinking, all right, you could have you could have a lump sum of money sitting here and you could be trading it and you could be making money with it, or you could take that money and put it here and let it make money, and then you could use somebody else's money and access it for very cheap, dare I say, almost free, $20, $16 account, 300. Man, my mouth was watering when they said $300,000. I didn't understand the trailing drawdown stuff, but when they said $300,000 for, you know, however much, and you could have 20 of them, I was like, all right, I sat down and made my plan.
But they
So
still have prop firms for Forex, right?
yeah, but the last time I looked at them, it's like $1,000 for $100,000
Yeah,
account, and that's for the
I know.
evaluation.
And for Forex too, a long time ago, I saw a software, and I mean, shady brokers use. They can set it to stop loss hunt specific accounts and stuff. Like they can do all kinds of
hmm
shady stuff.
They can because all the data, that's what's so crazy. All the data is right there. I've actually seen the back end of a few different brokers. People, because people can white label brokers as well, and so you get
Yep.
you get a limited. If you white label a broker, you get a limited view, but you get more detail to what your traders are doing. And I've seen those back offices because I thought about doing my own white label, and so I looked at it and, dude, the amount of information you can see when people are short or long, and who and how much they're in profit or loss. You know, I mean, these brokers, man, they are, I don't know how they, besides greed, I don't know how they could fail, because it's so easy.
Well,
If you want a
isn't
guaranteed
it?
way to make money, open up a white label broker.
But I mean, if you're a true blue A book broker and
Mhm.
you're only making money off the spread, you don't care if somebody's profitable. It doesn't affect you. But you get all
Right.
these bucket shop, B brokers that
Mhm.
are trading against you.
Yeah.
And that's the majority of them. And I heard a lot of the brokers, they have an A book and a B book, and um, you know, they monitor you when you first start, and then they'll put you in the A
Right.
book or the B book.
That's exactly right. Yeah. They do. They do, and
It's
they
just
will.
shady.
They do, and they will. And that's the thing, now see, I've always had really good relationship with my brokers, and I don't know if it's the amount of money that is transacted or what it is, but I've never had a broker that I wasn't able to call up directly. I mean, it always starts out like that. It always starts out typical scenario, situation, da da da. But I push for it. I'm like, listen, I'm not. I don't want to just be another record in the system here. I want specials. I want perks. If I, if I'm gonna bring my money here, I don't want the bonus. I want something else. Give me deductions on fees. If we're about to put well over $1 million in here, we need, and I'm going to be promoting this. I'm going to be promoting this. I've got a following online. Like, I want some deals. And so FX Choice, man, they hooked me up. I had 50% off of all fees, all the fees that anybody and everybody would pay. If you used my link and me on my accounts, I paid 50% less fees. So my fees were so cheap with FX Choice. Um, I got a better spread, right? So everyone has a variable spread, but they can adjust how much your spread is. Like by the click of a button, they can adjust your spread. So I had the coolest setup. Again, FX broke. They finally even kicked me off, but I had a good setup with FX Choice for many years, and I really liked that. And then boom, they went away. I was at a loss when FX Choice shut down. I held on as long as I could, and then finally they're like, "You got to withdraw your money. We can't we can't continue this anymore." So at least they gave
Yeah,
me my money.
but if they were only making money off the spread, why would they care?
It was a regulation thing. So
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
it was a regulation thing. So yeah, but see, like they were a little bit cooler with it. You know what I mean? And then like obviously, if they have an A book B book side of things, then that's, I guess it really doesn't matter to me. I was winning on with them, but like yeah, it's kind of scary to think about with Forex, that anybody can literally, if you have a MetaTrader 4 platform, the data is specific to you, and you could just literally change the price data, and the candles would be different in different places on that candle, right? Like completely different. You could just type it in the values, and the candle will print based on those candle values. And so yeah, that's just crazy. You compare 2 to 3 different brokers, and some of them are a couple pips higher highs or lower lows. It's all manipulation. And that's what I like about futures too, is that like all of these indicators, I can guarantee that, because sometimes, see, that used to be a thing, is somebody would say something similar. Now remember, we had hundreds of people, and the barrier to entry for STS was lower back then. So we had some interesting characters come through, and like some people, they would have these bucket shop brokers, right? Because they would let you deposit $10, and hold on.
Yeah, cent account.
Hold on, I'm trying to close this freaking.
There was a 1 minute Titan that just won TP2.
Oh no, the freaking. I've been selling NASDAQ for a long time, and I just hit TP on it.
Nice.
I put my TP right below the low. So I've been in that since somewhere over in here. Nice. Good. I was really hoping we'd go break that low. I'm done with my trade for the day. I'm I'm up about 600. I'm about 600 right now, but I did make one mistake. I didn't lose any. Did I lose any trades today? No, I didn't. Hey. So I did make one mistake when that whole situation happened where I was flipping between accounts. I accidentally took a trade I meant to take on one set of accounts on a different set. So my profits are split right now. I've got 216 on one set of accounts, and I've got 320. Let me see. Yeah, 320 on another set. Oh no, I did. It says I did lose one trade. So I did lose one trade somewhere in here. But that's all right. So out of losing one trade, yeah. So I'm up 322 on that one. I'm gonna just stick with that. I don't feel like explaining two separate accounts, so I'll stick with this. I'm gonna call this my daily results. You could
Nice.
add 200 onto that, but it's messed up. It's all split. Yeah, futures is awesome, Matt. With the difference, it is if people take a step back and look at it for what it really is, it is every single thing that people
We
asked
need.
for when Forex was the main thing. Forex. The problem was spread. It's funny. I was just watching a video the other day, like a memory popped up from like 6 years ago, and it was me doing some live trading, and I'm sitting here and I'm like sitting here watching the screen, and I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take a sell right here. And I'm watching it, and I said, I'll come back in a minute, guys. And then I muted and then like sped the video up. And then you see it go down to TP, and then I come back and I'm like, all right, guys, I just manually closed it. The only thing that was keeping me in the trade was the spread. And so I was like, oh my God, I remember this spread. Like, especially on like a cross pair, you got a spread of like, you're trading on a 5-minute time frame, you got a spread of like 1.5 pips. Your setup might only be like 3 pips in size. So 50% of your setup added is spread alone, and going up there and just knocking you out by the spread and then turning and going the other way, make it feel real personal. And then the other thing is when the prop firms came out, so first of all, with Forex, people had to deposit their own money. So they'd go to these crappy brokers that let you put in $10 to $100 or whatever. They'd put in that money, and then they'd be trading on that. Then the Forex, the prop firms came out, and every single prop firm that came out with Forex had like a 30-day limit. Like you had to pass it within 30 days. And then that's when everyone started hating on the prop firm industry. They're making you lose on purpose because they're doing it like this, and it makes you rush and it makes you change your strategy. That's what they were saying, and which is true. It does do that, and then you still had the spread and the fees, right? And then they removed the time limits. They've done every single thing.
You're right. It's still really expensive. Like $100K account is like $500-600. That's just for the evaluation.
Yeah, and it's just not worth it. I don't see why anyone would do Forex prop firms right now. Besides, like, I will say that the one thing that I really don't like. Oh, hold on. Let's see. Oh, I missed this. I just checked my phone. We hit that level right here, and it just broke right out. Let me see. Did I get other alerts too? Yep. Oh man, I missed some trades. Look, so here was. I would have watched this, but I probably wouldn't have been able to trade anything because I don't see a setup there.
Now, Ken, once
see.
it broke that level, are you going to look for order flow to see if it's a buy or a sell?
I would like to just look for a reversal. That's because that's what I like to do. I would like to see price fail at this level. Normally, if price fails here at the initial balance, high or low, and it reverses back into the range, it will normally go to the other side of the range, or at least 50% of the way. So that's just a tip. You just look up initial balance, something like that. Just look it up. It's not something that I
If you
figured
did a
out.
sell, if you did a sell though, either way, if you're doing a sell or a buy, you can put an extremely small stop loss, and you have a large upside either way. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like,
Yeah. So what I would look for is the easiest thing to see is for price to try to move out of this zone, and then it fails and comes back in, and then bam, you look for, your stops are going to go either below the low, or however it sets up. It depends on how it sets up. And then you're going to be targeting the center of the range or the other side of the range. That's the easiest setup, is failure, reclaim back into the range, and then trade back up towards the highs. That's the easiest. Sometimes it breaks out and it continues, and it just keeps going. And that's what I drew yesterday. Is like, sometimes it just breaks out and continues, right? Like a typical lightning bolt LB pattern. And sometimes it will reverse back in. This time, if you go and you look at it today, just now, it did the exact opposite that it did yesterday. Is it did this time. So how your setup would have looked if you would have traded it, the first place that I see it happen, I know that not everybody sees this, but just follow along for a second. The first place I see is right here, and I see it in the wick. So price pushed, rejected, pushed, closed. It closed below it. This is the first time we closed below that level. Then it retested it. So push below, retest in the wick, continuation as it continues going. So that would have been, below these lows right here. And then again, you don't have to always look for a huge trade. This is where people diminish their edge. We're looking for probability. So even if you want a guaranteed trade, bam, there it is right here. 1-to-1's the most guaranteed trade. 1-to-2, you get those, 50 to 60% of the time. But that's what happened with that one. But it looks like all of them broke out. Let me see. Gold has not broke out yet. It's in the range. So ES broke out. YM is kind of breaking out. It broke, retested, continued, retested again. Still trying. It's basically trying to continue. And then NASDAQ pushed, and it now has also retested. So what you could look for is in order flow. You could look to see, it depends on how you feel about this. Like if you, and I guess you could read some order flow too, but right now, NASDAQ, if I pull it up and I look at it, overall, over time, we've had sellers, and that part's pretty obvious. We had buyers step in right here, and that's pretty clear. And now I'm trying to see if I can see anything like divergence.
okay, well, I'm heading out to work. I'm 6 for 6 today, but just small
Nice.
trade, but
Hey,
on a PA, slow and steady. So we'll see you guys on Friday.
All right, see you then. I don't know what this one's gonna do. This looks like a nice little retest. We have aggressive buyers piling in here, but obviously price is pushing down. I'm trying to watch the DOM to see if smacking orders in there or what. What do y'all think? It's gonna go up there or not? This is my favorite time to sell, when it's up at the very top, where I can just put my stuff right above there, but I don't know if I feel it yet. Oh, gold just crossed over its little level right here. Maybe that'll be more worth it to trade. So it just broke below. Gold. Where are you? Gold's at a pretty interesting place. Man. It's too big to trade. This one on gold is right now, but look, it's retesting yesterday's high as well. It's too big for me to get in. The only way I could get in is at 43.40. That I'd be comfortable with that. I'm kind of throwing around like $200 risks. Got a little setup trying to set up there. It's getting a little slow. Probably hop off though, you guys. I've already gotten a good amount of trades. I think I've taken 3 or 4 today. I've won most of them. I've lost 1 trade. So lost 1, but I'm green in total. I'll post my results here in just a little bit. Tomorrow, let's see. Tomorrow's the 1st. I know it said that the trading was going to be closed, so I don't know exactly what to expect, but we'll see. May end up doing some trading in the morning, depending on what's going on. If you see me in chat here in this voice chat, then come hop in. We'll do some trading. If not, you guys can use the room or whatever. But we will do our webinar on Friday. So on Friday we'll have our mentorship webinar. I may see you guys tomorrow. I may not. You guys enjoy your time until then. I'll see you on tomorrow or Friday.
There's trading tomorrow morning.
Thanks, man. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Cam.